The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Pierre Gasly and Perez, Ricciardo, Ocon, a Red Bull and Carlos Sainz, Vettel, Norris, Lance Stroll and Magnussen, Raikkonen, Russell, Daniel Kvyat and Antonio Giovinazzi. Latifi, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
We're here in Bahrain. Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen are on the front row. Valtteri on pole till 5. Red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Valtteri Bottas gets a great start. Max Verstappen does not get the best of starts, and now Charles Leclerc is side by side with him. The two Renaults are going side by side. We're already making up places near the back after a horrible qualifying session. Yeah, the two Renaults are still side by side. Daniel Ricciardo and Esteban Ocon. And Ocon gets the place from Ricciardo. As we ride on board with us, as we try to get past Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton has not gotten a great start. He had to get a good start because he was starting further back, but he did not get a great start. As we send one around the outside of him, and then we go into the straight corner, and we are ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas leads from Max Verstappen, and then comes Charles Leclerc. The McLaren of Carlos Sainz is very keen on getting past the racing point because these are very special championship points, as Valtteri Bottas leads us on the first lap. Max Verstappen at first didn't get the best of starts, but then he kind of settled out in second place. And Charles Leclerc is looking very, very pacey in that Ferrari at Bahrain. Coming out of the corner, we wiggle a ton, and now Lewis Hamilton is all over the back of us, and he runs straight into the back of us. Lewis Hamilton has run right into the back of us. He broke too late, and now he has front wing damages. We lose the rear end again, and that carbon fiber piece flies off of Lewis's car as he takes the inside line, and we strapped right behind him as we lost a place to Lewis Hamilton, but we'll have slipstream. No DRS as of yet because it's lap 2. We send one down the inside of Lewis, and we get the place back, but he makes a beautiful switchback move, and we're still side by side with Lewis Hamilton. We take the inside line, we push him a little bit wide, and we go wide as well. So we lose a little bit of time as we wiggle, and we wiggle a ton more on the exit, but we get that place from Lewis Hamilton just by the skin of our teeth, but we're really feeling the pressure from Lewis. We ride on board with Charles Leclerc, trying to get past Max Verstappen. He's looking very pacey as he goes to the inside of Max. Max tries to fight this all the way around, but it's no use because that Ferrari is very, very quick at Bahrain, and here comes Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri trying to get past the Red Bull of our teammate Max Verstappen, which he is sending it to the inside, and it looks like Pierre is just ahead, but Max is really putting up the fight, and Max Verstappen just stays ahead of Pierre. We pit at the end of this lap to strap on a new set of medium tires. Let's see what our Red Bull crew can do. It's a quick pit stop, but we held up a ton by the McLaren of Carlos Sainz, and now Sainz comes out, and so does Ricciardo, and then the McLaren, and they come out right next to each other. Lewis Hamilton and Sergio Perez, the other Renault, and a bunch more cars are coming in. Lewis has to get that front wing damage changed, his front wing changed, and now he's on to medium tires to the end of this race as he gets released and doesn't get held up at all, so it's a clean pit stop from him. And now Lewis Hamilton trying to make up places on Danny Kvyat. Kvyat's teammate is in the pits. George Russell is now exiting the pits, and here comes Lewis Hamilton trying to go around the outside of George Russell. Will he get two Williams? They're side by side, and yes, Lewis Hamilton does get past both Williams. George Russell in the pits, losing time. Here comes Pierre Gasly. He's trying the second time against Max Verstappen. He goes to the inside, no, the outside, and he makes that move done. And Max Verstappen has to wait behind him as Pierre Gasly gets up into the podium places. And oh no, is that Kimi Räikkönen going slowly? It is. Kimi Räikkönen going slowly, and he pulls off. And so that will be another mechanical failure retirement. And is that? It is. And that's another car going slowly, and it's Pierre Gasly. So after a brilliant race, and he was in a podium position, he pulls off with a mechanical failure. So while Räikkönen had a failure on the straight, Pierre Gasly is out of this race, and that's so unfortunate for the young Frenchman, as he's been driving a stellar race. We're all over the back of Max Verstappen. We're trying to close up on the final lap. We cut the corner a little bit. We go wide. We lose the rear end. And that is our chance of getting Max Verstappen blown away, as we are closing up all the time. As we go wide yet again, we lose the rear end. We have to cut the corner, but Valtteri Bottas will win the Bahrain Grand Prix, followed by Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. A great P2 for him. And followed by Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, and then comes us in the other Red Bull in P4, just missing out on the podium, all due to our fault. But Valtteri Bottas takes a victory, and Lewis Hamilton is way out of the points with that front wing damage. Say! Hell. Sorry, guys.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the deserts. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So as you could hear, we were absolutely livid after we made a mistake, which caused us not to catch Max Verstappen for the podium. But in the end, it's Valtteri Bottas who wins, Charles Leclerc in P2 in the Ferrari, Max Verstappen P3, us in P4, Sainz in P5, Ricciardo in P7, just behind his teammate Esteban Ocon in P6. Now we head to our post-race interview.
Did you feel that things went well for you today?
Yeah, well, I don't really want to sound like a downer, but I don't think I felt like I had the best race out there. If you didn't watch the race and you just saw where I started and then where I finished, you could think, yeah, it's a great race, but I don't think I did my best out there, and I don't think I had the best race. I think I could have done a lot better, could have gotten maybe a podium, but it's whatever, and I'll come back next weekend a lot better for Vietnam. It's a good track. Hopefully I don't scrape the barrier too many times, but yeah, today just didn't feel like my day. Good result in the end, technically, from where we started, but other than that, nothing really to be happy about.